Was the older members of the audience, that was S-Club 7. But it did all keep moving, for as Chuck Prince, the chief executive of Citigroup, at that time the largest bank in the world, said,
as long as the music's played, you've got to get up and dance.
He really said that about finance, and he ran a bank. But of course, it is also good advice when at an umpa musical. There is some space here if you would like to work up a sweat. But I began to wonder, what will happen when this music stops? What will happen when someone says, what is in this collateralized debt obligation I have bought? What will happen when someone asks, just why is this obviously risky debt so highly rated? What will happen when someone says, these rating agencies are themselves paid according to the amount of debt that they rate? Does this not perhaps generate the teensiest conflict of interest? Or perhaps most worryingly of all, what will happen when this interminable intro gives way to the main body of the next song? In 2008, we were indeed on the highway to hell. Just in case some of you are not AC/DC fans. So, we explained to you earlier how the equity markets work. You will be excited to learn we now turn our attention therefore to the debt markets, with of course the help of this band. You see, you do not just have to buy and sell the equity to make money. You can also... That was the equity, yeah? Thank you. That was the equity. We are now moving on to debt here. We can only use one analogy at a time with this band. I must apologize, we do not have time to explain debt-equity swaps to you. For everyone else, the people that laughed at that joke, they have very boring jobs. So, you do not just have to buy and sell equity, you can also buy and sell the debt instead. So, let us consider the example of the trumpet player, because the trumpet player is always in debt. So, I can take some of this trumpet debt and keep it for myself and take the interest and the repayments. But perhaps I would like to sell this debt to you, sir, as an IOU, so you can take the interest and the repayments. But there is a problem, because you know, as I do, as we do, just how unreliable they are. So you do not really want to buy this risky trumpet debt. But you also know that slightly more reliable is the French horn player, so perhaps you would buy some French horn debt from me. And you know that a little bit more reliable still is the trombone debt of the trombone player. And everybody knows that the most reliable person in the band is always the tuba player. So of course you would be happy with this same tuba debt. So one day a man had a clever idea. He realized he could take some of all of these and combine them together so he could sell them all to you at once. So to do that, he took some trumpet, he added some French horn, some trombone, finally some tuba, and he created the Oompa Band! You see what he did there? It's really that clever, Oompa Band, yeah! So I take this collateralized Oompa obligation, or COO. There are a lot of bankers into that. I sell this to you, sir, and for many months this is tremendous. You are very happy with this, because you see what is included with it. You give it away for a sir, you see what is included. This is tremendous. You are very happy with the money you get from this. Until, and we all knew this would happen. We all knew how unreliable they were. But the day comes when the trumpet players cannot make their payments and they default. And they are gone. Now, you look absolutely terrified. If you drop that, the rest of the show will be ruined. Now, you are probably ahead of me here, but of course, the trumpet players represent the subprime mortgages of the United States. That was, of course, obvious. And then, as the pressure on the whole system or the whole band continues to build, the bank debt, Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers, the bank debt represented here by the French horn, that too defaults. And is gone. And the pressure on the whole system grows more and more until the corporate debt, Woolworths, Setanta, and so weiter, the corporate debt represented here by the trombone, that too defaults. He too is gone. Although I think he auditioned for a children's TV program on the way out there. So we are now left with only the most boring kind of debt. The sovereign debt issued by governments. So you go now to collect on your bond, sir, and you see what you have left. Nobody wants the tuba on its own. Meine Damen und Herren, the collapse of international debt finance explained with a 5-piece brass band. But it was all okay, because the geniuses who run the international markets knew how to fix this problem. They knew that it was simply a matter of injecting more liquidity into the system. The musicians always enjoy this bit for some reason. Can we carry on now, gentlemen? That is just some men drinking beer. That is what you want for your afternoon. Stay in the bar and save yourselves the £5. There's a session on, you know. So, to end this tortuous analogy, which we must, and to ascend the narrative arc of the show, which we must, it is now necessary to issue the band their instruments back. And this is a process known as quantitative easing. I can assure you, you are by far the most financially literate we have had in 3 weeks, so thank you for that. So I trust we can agree, we have carefully, painstakingly, and perhaps lengthily shown that this collapse was caused by those subprime assets, by this troubled asset class of so-called toxic debt.